Right now, I'm going to take the role of the recruiter. Once you come to the iCONS environment, you're prompted for your username and password. For this demo, we're going to use Tester. Tester has the same permissions as the recruiter. After you log in, you're redirected to the homepage. At the homepage, there is a table with all the informed consents that are available to you. This table is auto-generated, so if you added another informed consent, it will be added to this table. For this demo, we're going to choose the Moores Cancer Center informed consent. At this point, the recruiter would hand over the device to the patient, and the patient will fill out this form. Although the functionality is not implemented yet, but the idea behind it is that the tool will verify the medical record number aligns with the last name and the first name of the patient. After you hit save, you enter the informed consent. This is the first page of the informed consent. As you can see, there's the title on the top, along with the principal investigator and the project number, and a brief description about the informed consent. The multimedia resources embedded within the content. We will demo this later. There are navigation buttons below the content. You can use these to navigate through the informed consent. You can also use the index menu. As you can see, many of the pages that are described in the presentation are included in this informed consent. Let's take a look at risks and consequences. This explains all the risks and consequences of this study. Below the content is some frequently asked questions to better understand the risks and consequences. Another way to better understand the content is through multimedia resources. You can access them by simply clicking on them, and they will open up in a lightbox. Once you have read the content of the resource, you can click back onto the document to exit. After you read all the content of the informed consent, you will be asked to take an assessment. Let's navigate to the assessment using the index menu. The assessment was included in iCONS 1.0. The assessment allows the investigator to find out which sections were harder to read. This may prompt the investigator to go back and change that section so it is more comprehensible for the patient. You have to answer all the questions within the assessment by clicking on one of the options below. If you forget to answer one question, the system will prompt you to answer it before you proceed. While taking the assessment, you are able to navigate to any page you desire using the index menu below. Once you have read all the context in the informed consent, you may hit submit to enter the signature page. This is also the decision page. The patient must decide whether they want to participate in the study, whether they acknowledge the risk included. If they agree, they can sign in the signature pad. Once you hit submit, the documentation is generated. As you can see in the PDF, all the content from the informed consent is added, including the IRB stamp on the top left corner, and the principal investigator and the project number. You can see the risks and consequences that we reviewed earlier. All the links that were embedded in the informed consent aren't translated to the PDF. At the bottom of the PDF, you have the patient's first name, last name, and signature, and today's date. For security reasons, you are logged out of iCONS environment. If we navigate back, you can see you're back at the login page.